Hello there. I'm gonna try to be fast with this one, as I always try anyway, but I'm gonna try to keep it under 20 minutes. I just want to share some good news that happened here in my state in Illinois. Uh, my governor just signed a bill into law that I mean, I don't know if there's like a hidden what do you call it, like a fine print, but it's on the surface it sounds like it's good news. It's a new law that is gonna go into effect next year, and the new law is pretty much any workers that work full time, uh, for every 40 hours that they work, they earn a 1 hour 1 hour of paid time off, uh, guaranteed up to 40 hours. So I mean, and what's the other catch on that? Yep, 1 hour paid time off for every 40 hours that they work, and they don't need to give a reason or anything. Pretty much, they can use that time for whatever, whether it be vacation or medical reasons or whatever. If you're too stressed out, if you're having a tough year, whatever, just take it off. You don't need to give anyone an explanation. So it's not like paid sick leave, right? It's just paid time off earned after every 40 hours. You get 1 hour up to 40 hours, so pretty much a week. And yeah, man, that's a good law. And I mean, I am a little surprised, but not that much, because even though my governor, I don't know if he considers himself, if he calls himself a progressive. I don't really deem him a progressive, but this is kind of like a good move in the right direction. It's pretty progressive, if you ask me. And so this is a good law that he just signed in. This is a good bill that he just signed into law, and I'm glad for my state. In Illinois, we're a freaking blue dot surrounded by red states. Even I think Michigan and Wisconsin, they have Democratic governors, but their legislatures, I think they're still Republican. Maybe not Michigan anymore, but they haven't changed their laws. Freaking all the states around us, they're right to work states, pretty, anti-union states. Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Kentucky. I think there's a fifth state that we border with. All the states around us, they're anti-union work. They're anti-union states, anti-labor, and right to work for less. That's what we like to call it. And we're the only union stronghold in Illinois. And our union workers, they still have unions in those states, but our union workers make more than those union workers. We earn more, and we earn a lot more than non-union workers. So Democrats know not to cross the union labor force here in Illinois, because I don't know what's going on in these other states, but here in Illinois we got good representation, and we got a strong presence in Illinois, the union movements, and so um, back to JB Pritzker. This is a good law that he signed, and this is a good bill that he signed into law. And I don't know, man. For a billionaire governor, that if you ask me, I'm sure he's freaking corporate. And some if I look into his record close enough, I'm sure I'll find some dirt on him. But on the surface level, at least, this is a good law. And to give him credit, he failed on this one, but he tried changing our tax law, that I think it would have been better. But unfortunately, uh, not enough LNI or LNI people, they didn't feel that way. But he was trying to change our tax law but there has to be changed by the Constitution, like through a constitutional amendment. He promoted it, and it was a good tax law, but unfortunately, it didn't freaking. I guess the corporate, uh, you know, corporate forces here in Illinois, they managed to trick enough people into voting against this tax amendment, and it would have been like a progressive tax amendment, pretty much. If you don't, if you're below the poverty line, you don't make a lot, you pay less in taxes, or you pay no taxes. And if the more you make, the more you pay, up to I think it was a cap of 8% or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, man, I remember those days, and a lot of people, they just didn't understand the law, and they voted against it, including people in my own family. My wife didn't believe in it. I don't know why she had a problem with it. My sister-in-law, same way. A friend of mine, also a union worker, he told me, no, man, because I don't like that thing that the more you make, the more you pay, and what's to stop them from paying, from making people that make more. What's to stop? If, let's say I make more next year, what's to stop them from paying? When do they stop raising my taxes? And I shared with him, it was capped at 8%. Like, nobody was gonna pay more than 8%. And he like, really? I didn't know that, but you know, people are hard, even when we realize, as human beings, when we realize we fucked up. It's hard to recognize, to own up to it. So it's a shame, it didn't pass, but credit to JB Pritzker, because he wanted it to pass. I mean, it would have been like I said, that dude's a billionaire. And you gotta be skeptical of billionaire class running government. But I mean, for a billionaire, he would have ended up paying way more on his taxes. I think right now the billionaire class don't pay more than 5%. I think we have like a flat tax or something like that in Illinois. Like, everybody pays the same or something like that. So yeah, I would have been a lot better. I think the governor would have. I think the governor would have gotten a way more. What do you call it? More revenue to fund its obligations. Especially, you were serious. Especially talking about. There we go. Especially speaking about um, our pension fund, because we do have a pension problem here in Illinois. Like, it's been a problem for years and years and years, for more than a decade, for decades, and that's one of our issues right now with our pension fund, and that's from previous governors that didn't funded these pension programs properly. And yeah, it's an issue, and that's what Illinois Republicans complain about. Like, they're trying to screw over workers, government workers that and their pension funds. Nonetheless, that's another issue for another time. Just kind of sharing an overall perspective that I have on JB Pritzker. Not the worst governor, I'll tell you that, even if he's like a neoliberal corporate type. Um, he keeps putting legislation like this up. I mean, shit. I don't know why. Maybe he's trying to run for president or something. I don't know. But this is a good piece of legislation, and I don't know why anybody would be opposed to it. I mean, there was some leading Republican voices, conservative voices, uh, complaining about this bill that he signed. And pretty much they use the same talking point that union busters use. When one shop is trying to unionize, and the boss, like, one of their talking points is, "Oh, I think it's better if we have like a direct relationship with our workers, one on one, yada yada." And that's like the talking point I heard regarding this. I think it's better if the employee and the employer have a one-on-one relationship and conversation, work things out that way instead of guaranteeing them pay time off. How stupid, right? Yeah, compared to other countries, we're still lagging behind. But hey, man, when you're on the left, you can't get picky. You take the W's where you can, and I think this is a good W for people that care about the working class and wants to stick it to the freaking corporate types. This is a good law, and I'm happy to hear about it. Yeah, so that's the whole local news reaction that I have regarding this. Really quick, I just saw Marianne Williamson. She gave an interview in New Hampshire to, I think it was like news, uh, a local news channel, and I think it was friendly territory, or at the very least fair territory. They talked about the issues pretty good, and the guy seemed like a genuine, like, I think the guy liked her. Like, he's like, maybe there's bias in him, but it was still a substantial conversation that they had, like a good 8-minute interview or something. And so uh Marianne Williamson did a good job, and she criticized Biden, of course. She criticized the fascism on the right that is keeps growing. Listen, man, we don't know what's gonna happen still, but at this point, I can't say I blame her. Like, I can't say that she's doing anything wrong. I think she's doing playing the best hand she can with the cards she has. So I hope she keeps it up. I mean, she just gotta keep swinging and until keep throwing that spaghetti against the wall. Maybe something will stick. She's doing a good job. She's very focused on policy, and I think she's criticizing Biden for all the right reasons, while remaining respectful. So, I mean, she's playing the game right, I think. Um, Another things I want to react to real fast. China brokering that Iran and Saudi Arabia peace deal, which really, that bolsters China, and I think that's sort of bad news for us, and we deserve this freaking, there we could have brokered a deal between them as well, but we were so anti-Iran here in the States, and that's the problem. And I mean, Joe Biden, remember, he promised he was going to get back into the Iran deal after stupid ass Trump got us out of it. Biden didn't do that, and now it's too hard to get in that deal, even if we wanted to, with all the freaking um, authoritarian fascist behavior Iran is displaying right now against the women in Iran. But we had a window, and Joe Biden, we nobody knows why he hesitated. He didn't get back in the deal. It would have been a good thing that he did that and maybe brokered a deal. But no, we took sides as always. We took sides against Iran because they're a dictatorship or they're not for freedom, whatever. But we're allies with the faction that I think is even worse than Iran, which is Saudi Arabia. Freaking draconian ass government, super backwards. They're still beheading people over there for some stupid ass accusations like witchcraft and whatnot. I wish I was kidding, but that's how they roll in Saudi Arabia. China, apparently, they had like a good, neutral relationship with both countries. And so that's just how they pulled it off. And that means China is, getting some more clout internationally. And if our government doesn't wise up and stop freaking trying to be so imperialist and hegemonic, and wise up a little more, like Don't be so damn dumb, so anti one country and so pro the other. Um, China might take us, might freaking beat us. What if their currency becomes the new currency, the new what do they call it, world currency or international currency? That would be a bad thing for us if, in the states. So yeah, just another reason I'm glad Biden's being primaried. He should have gotten into that fucking, excuse my language, he should have gotten into that Iran deal that Trump violated and that Iran did not violate. They followed through on it every single time. They were verified and all that, and even Trump acknowledged that much, but he still got out because he's a dumbass and he just hated Obama and he's a racist, all that shit. I think that's a combination of all of the above that why he pulled out for all the wrong reasons. Biden, he knew it was the right thing to do to get back in that deal, and he got cold feet. I'm sure, I don't know, Israel had something to do with it. Anyways, make it short this time. Hooray for Illinois, and shout out to JB Pritzker. Keep pushing, keep signing good legislation, my man.